So your iPhone overheats and you're worried that you're gonna fry it. You see those horror stories of people leaving their phones in their hot cars and them literally exploding? So how do you prevent that? Well, there is a solution to this problem. It's a liquid cooling solution. I'm also going to show you why your phone gets so hot when you're charging it, when you're gaming on it, or even if you're just scrolling through social media. First thing you need to understand is heat and how it affects your phone. Heat is created by friction. Every time you're doing something on your phone, whether you're gaming, charging, scrolling, whatever, there's friction within the phone creating heat. If you've ever held an iPhone while it's charging or gaming and you feel that heat coming off the back of the phone, that's that heat being generated by the processor. Now, the processor is designed to handle a certain amount of heat, and when it gets too much heat, that's when you start getting those warnings, saying your phone is too hot, slow down. Or if it continues to rise, the phone will shut down because it's trying to protect itself from getting damaged. But the thing about heat is it can cause damage even if your phone isn't completely fried. Think about when you leave your phone in the back of a hot car. After a few hours, you come out, you pick it up, everything looks fine on the outside. But then you start getting those weird issues where the battery drains quickly. Your phone is really laggy and slow. Your apps don't work properly. That's all because the heat caused by the sun has damaged the internal components of the phone. And the liquid cooling solution is going to solve that problem. Before I show you what this actually looks like, let's talk about why your phone is always overheating. There are 3 main reasons. The first one is, your phone is not optimized. Let me explain that. Your phone has an operating system, which is iOS, and that operating system runs the applications that you have on your phone. Now, those applications were built for certain hardware. They were built for this iPhone with this processor, with this amount of RAM. But since Apple releases new iPhones every year, you have older applications that were built for older hardware that now run on newer hardware. To make things more complicated, these applications don't communicate with each other. Each application runs independently. So imagine you have one application that's running, let's say Instagram. Instagram is pulling power from the battery and it's using some of the processing power. Then you open another app, maybe Safari. Safari also pulls from the battery and it also uses some of the processing power. And then you open another app. Let's say TikTok also pulls from the battery and it uses some of the processing power. All 3 of these applications are running at the same time in the background, using your battery, using your processing power. And you keep opening more and more applications until eventually the phone doesn't have enough resources to run all of them efficiently, which causes the phone to overheat. The second reason is your phone is old. Let's say you have an iPhone 6, which was released 6 years ago. Back then, the technology didn't get as hot as it does today. We had less powerful processors, less powerful cameras, and as technology advances, we now have bigger, brighter screens, more powerful processors, more powerful cameras, which require more processing power, which generate more heat. The iPhone 6 was not built for the type of applications we have today. The third reason is your phone is low on storage. When your phone is low on storage, it has to work harder to run the applications. It has to work harder to manage the files on the phone, which creates more heat. So how do you solve all these problems? 1. You could buy a brand new iPhone, but that's obviously expensive. 2. You could replace the battery, which is a little bit cheaper. But what if I told you there is a way to cool down your phone to fix all of these problems without buying a new phone and without replacing the battery? That's where the liquid cooling solution comes in. This liquid cooling solution is applied directly to the back of the phone, covering the entire surface area. And it's made of liquid metal, which is different than water, which has a higher thermal conductivity, meaning it's better at absorbing heat and transferring that heat away. Now, in order to use this, you need a device to apply it. This is a device that heats up the liquid metal so it becomes a vapor, which creates a low-pressure environment. As it cools down, it condenses back into a liquid state, which creates a high-pressure environment. And that cycle of becoming a vapor and then condensing back into a liquid creates a pumping action that draws the liquid from here and pumps it throughout the phone to absorb the heat. Once it absorbs the heat, it goes back into the device where it evaporates and then condenses back into a liquid and starts the process all over again. So let me show you how this works on a phone. Here I have an iPhone 11 Pro that's been used for a while. It's low on storage, so it's pretty slow. And when I play games, it gets super hot. Now, before we put the liquid cooling solution on the phone, I want to show you how hot it gets when we play a game. So I am gone. Start playing PUBG right now and let us just play for about 10 minutes. Okay, So after playing PUBG for 10 minutes, the phone got really hot. I could barely touch the back of it. I could definitely feel the heat coming off of it. Now, it didn't reach the point where it was going to shut down. It wasn't that hot, but it was definitely hot enough where it would get annoying to hold. So let me show you how it works once we put the liquid cooling solution on it. So we re-on, turn the device on, and now we re-on, attach it to the phone and apply the liquid metal. So I'm going to go ahead and click this button and apply the liquid metal. There we go. Alright, so now we have the liquid metal on the phone. I'm going to hide the device behind the phone so it's not in the shot. And let's go ahead and play PUBG, and let's see how it performs. Okay, so after playing PUB for 10 minutes, the phone is still cool to the touch. I can still hold it comfortably. It's not hot at all. In fact, it's cooler now than it was before. And that's the difference the liquid metal makes. So let's compare the two. Here's the footage of the phone before and after. Now the other thing I want to show you is how much storage space we have left. So let's go into Settings, General, and then iPhone storage. This phone only has 32 gigabytes of storage. Let's see what happens when we clear out some space and see if it fixes the issue. So I'm going to delete a couple applications. I am going to get rid of some games and free up some space. And then we re-go in to download those games and see how it performs. Okay, so I just deleted some big games. I freed up some space on the phone and now I'm going to reinstall PUB. There we go. Now, let us go ahead and open it and let us play for 10 minutes and see how it performs. Okay, so after playing PUB for 10 minutes, the phone is noticeably cooler. Before it was super hot, now it's just a little bit warm. Now this is an extreme example of how powerful this liquid cooling solution is. But think about your average user who's scrolling through Instagram, scrolling through TikTok, opening Safari, opening email, doing general day-to-day tasks on their phone. All of those things create heat. But the thing is, they're not creating as much heat as gaming or charging. So, in reality, the liquid metal is going to keep the phone significantly cooler than it was before. Now, I'm not saying that you should never get a new phone or replace your battery. Of course, if your phone is not working properly, or the screen is not working properly, or the camera is not working properly, you should take your phone in and get it fixed. That's what Apple is there for. But if your phone is working perfectly fine, but it's just overheating, and it's just not performing as good as it used to, that's where the liquid metal comes in. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it useful. Make sure you guys subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.